Hello, Leo. This is a update for you, and we're doing just recording readings on the live stream, and thought we'd do some little quick recordings for whoever wants to see a reading at whatever time. You can check out all the other readings in this kind of series. All the signs are going to be there right next to yours. And also come see us on Twitch, because the live stream is really, really something, if I must say so myself. The Knight of Swords comes up at the very beginning. Okay, somebody's really... the Knight of Swords is seen as like the bulldozer, like the one who just keeps on going, like robotic almost, right? Knight of Swords is talking about ego as well, or our tendency to kind of how reactive we are when all we're doing is making... it's logic, but logic that takes us off the rails. We're missing details in the Knight of Swords. Oh, okay. So we just said something about missing details right before we started recording. I was saying we were getting cards that were saying there's somebody who doesn't have all the information, and they're making these kind of big decisions. The Hermit by themselves. There's someone in your sphere who is making big decisions on their own, and they do not have all the information. So they're just kind of, it looks like they're just programmed. They're just operating on some kind of a program. The King of Cups. Aries got that too. And the Two of Cups. And you are being assigned to make friends with this individual and to hopefully kind of keep them distracted, is what I'm seeing. There's someone who's about to take off and just completely bulldoze, and your job is to distract them. Now, and that's so funny, you know, I said that thing right before we started about it being about drinking, like that I started feeling lightheaded and I started feeling kind of wobbly in my head. And then the Three of Cups came up, which was like, and it has these three drinks sitting on a bar. And it might be like the act of distracting someone who maybe has had too much to drink so that they don't drink anymore, or like something like that. It's like a, you know, if they're left to their own devices, things are not going to, well, I'm not going to say they're not going to go well, but the Knight of Swords is generally on their way to do whatever it is they're going to do, no matter who gets hurt, no matter what happens. So we worry about a Knight of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles, very on their own, very like kind of selfish energy, self-serving. Totally fine to be self-serving, but like there's something of you're present during a time when someone is going to be, and Five of Wands, and this is a very difficult person. They're not pleasant to be around, that's for sure, when they're like this, or when they're being held back from what they have every right to do. That's where it gets tricky. You know, if you've got somebody, you're trying to kind of keep them safe by trying to prevent them from, you know, this like relapse energy or something like that. It's like, well, they have every right to do whatever it is that they want to do, you know, like at a certain point you can't stop people from doing what they want to do. But the King of Pentacles, which is the important detail that we got right before this, that they don't have before they embark on this journey. You have some important experience or something like that, or there's something about your circumstances. It's important that they sit with you a minute before they go off and do something. Three of Swords. And it's not so much that they are going to hurt someone else, it's that they're going to hurt themselves. Well, this is oh, I forgot. Are we reading for Leo right now? I just got 5-5. Look at that. 55, big change. Page of Swords. You've got something. It takes courage to do this. You're on a path. You've got a certain edge to you with the Page of Swords. You might not have much experience with this particular kind of, using your edge. You've got an edge with someone. You've got sway with somebody. You maybe don't execute it like ever. And so this might even be the first time you've ever done this. But this is like, they're going to regret it if you don't. Like, I'm seeing, it's kind of like, I can't really describe what this is going to be. I really can't. Even if I get into a story, I just get booted out of it. It's very volatile energy. If I try to read into it, it just boots me right out. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know the details. I'm getting that kind of feedback from the energy on the table. That's like, don't even. You don't know what you're talking. You don't have any right. And in a way, it's true. I don't have any right to define what's going on for someone else. Maybe what I do have, though, is this King of Cups and the Two of Cups. This ability to relate to this energy. And that's what we're looking at. You might want to tell somebody about all the things they're going to regret if they continue with this. You might want to tell somebody about all the bad things that are about to happen and how it's going to hurt them. But I'm being booted out of the cards, and I'm being reminded that the King of Cups is here. The King of Pentacles. What you have is an edge. But your edge isn't to tell them what's about to happen that isn't going to work out. It's not to be logical. See, here's somebody who's stuck in their logic. They have a flawed logic, and they're about to go do something that they have every right to do. And you can know full well that they're going to it's not in their best interest, and it's not in your best interest either. But the problem is that they're stuck in their logic. They're stuck in flawed logic, or whatever it is. They're stuck in half information. They're not really seeing clearly. They're just seeing what it is that they want or what they can do. And they're stuck on a program. And in a moment when somebody's using logic, if it's no matter how valid or flawed it is, if your intervention, let's use that analogy, what you have to offer is your edge, but it's not going to seem too edgy if you just use different logic. Logic isn't going to strike somebody as edgy. They've got their logic. And they know what they want, and they know what they have every right to do. So you're never going to be able to argue with that. There's no argument here to have. Your edge is not in an argument. It's not in showing them different facts. Your edge is in relating with all of this. The King of Cups is someone who, well, take from the Pisces reading maybe, because King of Cups is a very like Pisces card. It's someone who has taken in more than their fair share, let's say, of emotion, that maybe you are naturally quite empathic, and you can kind of feel into the future, that it's how they're going to feel in the future that you might be afraid of, or that you might have this kind of current experience with. But let's say something even more, that in the Two of Cups, that even if you're just wanting to kind of like slow someone down and just distract them a minute, you'd be pretty amazed at how well that works if you just maybe like share a personal feeling of yours. Share a feeling. It doesn't have to be a feeling. Water isn't just emotion. That's not the only thing water is. But water is like the substance that supports substance. To put it in a very cryptic. So at first glance, I'm seeing anything but logic. Like arguing with somebody in this scenario that you're facing is not going to result in anything that you maybe, the desired outcome looks to be like just a pause, like a delaying or, distraction. You're to be a distraction from what they're up to. You're supposed to be different. Your edge is that you're different. Be different than this. The Three of Pentacles, advice. Ask them for advice. Brilliant. Ask them for advice. Friendly advice. If you want to look at this, okay? This is maybe okay. Let's go to something more lightweight than you're having an intervention with a friend who has a drinking problem. Let's scale back and just go, you're at the bar, right? And you've got your friend here, and once they get a couple of drinks into them, they always end up going way too far with it. And you just don't want them to do that right now. So you want to distract them so that they don't go drinking too fast. Ask them for advice. Open up and say, I'm just wondering, what would you do if you were me? I mean, I've got this scenario, I've got this like circumstance here, and I don't know what to do. And, you're someone I know and trust. Like, what would you do in this situation? Like, even if you have to invent something, and kind of feeling like that's what's going on. Appeal to their sense of empathy. Get them into a different headspace. 9 of Wands. You might be surprised that and they might be surprised that the thing they're looking for, they're looking to show themselves that they are important. And if you give somebody an opportunity to be important in your life or in your circumstance you're in right now, that might be the only thing they were looking for. To be important and to have something to say and to be valuable. Maybe the reason why somebody goes too far with their drinking is because they feel a little bit more important when they're drinking. And then they make the false assumption that after 3 drinks, the 4th drink is going to make them feel even more important. And maybe if you ask somebody you just give it to them, that they are important, then maybe they don't need to go here. Maybe they'll realize that they're just getting the exact same thing and they actually don't want to have another drink. Something like that. Page of Cups. They're listening. They're listening. Once they're listening, they might have something more to hear about, all this other stuff. But do you even, if they don't end up doing the thing, it's maybe going to be a learning experience for them too. They're very curious about this. This looks to be something coming up where you have the opportunity to make a big difference. And so you might be able to actually show someone a different way of doing that thing that they've always leaned on something or on a program for, that you've just shown them a new path, a new strategy. So interesting. Thanks so much, Leo. Good luck. And if you like this, again, check out the other readings on YouTube and come to the Twitch channel. And I hope you take much care.